Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I wanted to discuss my experience with the endometrial aspiration or biopsy test. First of all I would like to thank everyone जो हमारे channel पे new subscribe हुए हैं, because you must be going through some issue and that's why you subscribe to this channel, because you might have felt that it will be helpful for you and that is what I aim at. I really hope that you find this content helpful and please share your experiences with me so that it can help me as well. So first off, if you have not watched my previous videos, I'll link it in the I button and you just go and watch the previous videos so that you know what I'm talking about over here. मैं क्या reference कर रही हूँ. If you'll watch my previous videos, last 2 to 3 videos also, so you'd get to know that the new doctor that I was seeing, she kept me on oral contraceptive pills for 2 months because I had cycles of Letrose for almost 6 to 7 at a stretch. It's not healthy for your reproductive health. So she asked me to take a break and break for 2 months, and in those 2 months I was supposed to take oral contraceptive pills, which helps with ovulation induction in PCOD patients. So basically it helps with the ovulation thing also. So we're like, okay, fine. So what really happened, I'll just give backstory. So what really happened was, the first month I took the medicine. After that I did not get my periods. Then I went to the doctor and she made me take a test. Obviously it was negative, and a pregnancy test, and obviously it was negative. Then she gave me withdrawal medicine for me to have my periods, and she then wanted to see that what was the reason that I did not get my periods. So she wanted to check the complete endometrium and the health of it, and if there is any issue in the uterus itself, because I have PCOD and my other things are checked, but my uterus health has not been checked yet. There has been I had the tube test, I had all these tests, but never this test. So I was like, okay, fine, no problem. So basically this test is the doctor is supposed to do this test once you start the first day of your period. Okay, so then this month I had already started my period, right? So the next month I was supposed to get this test done. So also I used to get my periods regularly, but after taking the oral contraceptive, my periods I skipped for a month. So that is when the doctor gave me the withdrawal medicine to see why did I skip. Because it's even more problematic for future if you stop getting your periods, right? So yeah, for that reason she wanted to check. So I was doctor already told me she was not supposed to do the procedure. I was supposed to go to the same hospital and go to the emergency and just let them know whatever the thing is, give them the book that I have of the hospital, and they would do the procedure. So I was like, okay. And I don't know why nobody told me that I was supposed to take a painkiller beforehand. Because when I got my tube test done, the HSG, so I was informed earlier that I'm supposed to get the painkiller. So I was like, okay. I was so nervous for that test too because it was so painful. Anyway, so during this test, nobody told me that I was supposed to take a painkiller, and I didn't really do much research because I don't know why. So I'd already gone through IUI 2 to 3 cycles earlier, and I don't know why I felt like something is going to be inserted. I mean, the way they do IUI, right? They just insert the semen. So I was under the impression that something is going to be injected. That's it. But what really happens in this test is they take a sample, they pluck, they scrape off a specimen or sample from your endometrium. And that was my first day of periods, and I was bleeding very slightly. So it was not like my endometrium was already shedding and it was painless. Anyway, we have so much of cramps during periods, right? And I went in for the procedure, and the experience was very poor because first of all they kept me what do you say, like, how do I even explain it? So basically they had me tied up my legs, and the doctor was late. This is not the same gynecologist that I see. This was another doctor that was supposed to do the procedure, and she was a bit late, and oh my god, it was, I mean, I was in that position, it's so difficult already. And then yeah, whatever. So I had waited for 10-15 minutes and then the doctor came. And then what they did was, they, I mean, if anyone has gone through IUI, they would know that they take a speculum and they open the area and then they insert that. There's this long thing that they put inside and to, you know, do whatever, like inject, or if they're supposed to take a sample, they would do that with tongs, or I don't know what that is. But uh here they literally had to, you know, it's like you take a pair of tongs from your skin and they have to take a skin. So by the way, endometrium is the only organ in any human like that changes every month. So it is an actual organ, it's not like anything else, it's an organ. And they took the sample, they literally usko, they plugged it from inside. The pain, if anybody tells you that this test is not painful, do not believe them. This test was the most painful that I had to experience so far in 3 years of my infertility journey. Because I did not even have painkiller medicines, right? And during HSG, I did take painkiller, Meftal Spas, and still I felt pain. And here there was no medicine that I took, and I mean, I was so much in pain. I was like, I was swearing on the, I have never in front of doctors and I'm very proper that way, but I was swearing literally. I was swearing on that table and I was like, please leave it. I don't want to get it done. Leave it, leave me, leave me. And the doctor was like, you need to relax, otherwise we'll have to take the sample again. And there was so much chaos in that 2 minutes, and it was so chaotic. It was so painful, and I was so much in pain that I literally passed out. It was so painful that I passed out. You don't cry when you are in so much pain, you pass out. It was my tolerance was I mean, it was beyond 10 and my body just couldn't take it. I passed out. Thankfully my husband was with me, so I was literally shouting from inside and he could hear it outside. So the experience was very, very, very painful. So any one of you who is going to get this test done, please take a painkiller beforehand, check with your doctor and take a painkiller, and if needed take anesthesia, because this is what local anesthesia is for, right? To make sure that you don't go through so much pain. Oh my god. So yeah, that is my experience. And my doctor did 2 to 3 tests, so I'll let you know. The tests that doctor had written were gene expert, histopathology, so that was the endometrial aspiration I think, and 2 to 3 tests were gene expert, I think that is for the genetic disorders or anything, if there is, they detect that. So two reports came from the same sample, and then they also took blood I think for some other test. So basically it took 6 weeks for this test result to come, so we could not even try the next month. And thankfully everything was normal, there was no problem, and my doctor was like, your uterus is number 1. I was like, okay, so that's good I guess. So I met with the doctor with the reports and everything, and then my doctor suggested me to get hysterosonosalpingography. So I told doctor that my HSG has already been done. She said this is not HSG. In HSG what they do is they insert dye or ink into the tubes to check if there's any blockage or whatever, you know. So the HSG test is with ink. Hysterosonosalpingography, what they do is they inject saline water into the tubes. They flush your tubes and check for any impurities or, you know, any whatever, like if there is any blockage or anything. So it's basically for the same purpose. But a lot of times doctor explained to me that a lot of times whatever issues are there in the tube, even if there is a very, 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 tube is like our hair, it's that thin, and if there is any blockage, even partial blockage, it gets cleared out. So 2 to 3 times they flush the water inside your tube. So I was like, okay. So yeah, my next cycle I was after my next period, so from days 9 to 11, basically before you ovulate in any cycle, we were supposed to get that test done. So in my next video I'll be discussing regarding my experience of hysterosonosalpingography. And yeah, so the key takeaways from this video should be that if your doctor has recommended you the test of endometrial aspiration, please check for a painkiller or local anesthesia. Just tell the doctor your pain tolerance is not very high, because for people whose pain tolerance is very high, I can vouch that this test is way too painful. I went through it, so I wouldn't want you guys to go through the same. So yeah, in my next video I'll discuss my experience of hysterosonosalpingography. That's it. So I'll see you in my next video. Till then, bye.